Ready. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is going to be a live video, so I know we're not face to face, but as you're watching, if you have questions or comments, please drop them in the chat. And while we're waiting for everyone to log on, Igor, if you're out there and you can hear me, I am a fellow musician. I am a pianist and violinist, and I looked up some of your old compositions from music school, and I will definitely have to find you after this to pick your brain on some of them because they were so beautifully written. So just wanted to let you know. That said, when we were looking through all of our cases last week, because we get a lot of client requests every week, this was one of the top ones that piqued my interest, not only because of the shared musical interest that we have, but also because this group, MGI, is just such a diverse set of expertise. And we saw your case and we were really, really impressed by the not only the concept and the mission behind your business, but also the way that everyone was brought together onto this team. So really looking forward to working with everyone and excited for this opportunity. All right, without further ado, some quick introductions of us. We are RC Consulting. My name is Annie Liu, and I am the managing director here. My background is in chemical engineering from UT Austin. And then we have David Wagner. He is our applications executive. His background is in mechanical engineering from Texas Tech. And then we have Dhriti Patel. She is our marketing manager, and her background is in biomedical engineering. And then we have Jesus Rios, who is our account executive and business development, and his background is in finance from the University of Houston at Clear Lake. And last but not least, we have Miguel Lopez. He is our account supervisor and R&D, and his expertise is in strategic communication. So across the five of us, we have a combined 30 years of experience. We also have a very diverse background here as well. And we are excited to share what we have learned on business communications with you all. For the next few minutes, 8 minutes or so, we have a purpose statement, our analysis of your current communications at MGI, and our recommendations to you for how you can improve, and the financial analysis at the end with some time for questions. So with that, I will pass it to Dhriti, who is our marketing manager.
Thank you for that introduction, Annie. So I'll go over the purpose of this presentation, which is to provide a strategized approach and give you recommendations which can be implemented to improve your team's communication, collaboration, and how you resolve issues moving forward. I'll pass it to Miguel, our account supervisor, and he'll go over the MGI analysis with you guys.
Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be presenting a SWOT analysis centered around communications for MGI. And so this analysis will help us to understand the current dynamics within the team and also identify areas of improvement. So we'll go ahead and get started with strengths in orange. And there are three, but today I'm going to focus on the diverse skill sets. And so all of you bring amazing skill sets and diversity to the table, right? So we have a business background, music, technology. And what this diversity does is that it fosters creativity. And this creativity can lead to solutions, but only whenever effective communication is utilized. Next, we'll go ahead and look at the color green, which is weaknesses. And for this, I really want to focus on the lack of structured communication. So meetings, they've often devolved into unorganized brainstorming sessions. And so this lack of structure creates confusion in the decision-making process. The team also struggles to navigate conflicts constructively. And what that does is that it exacerbates the tensions and leads to reduced productivity. Going on to the color blue is opportunities. And so we'll look at team building initiatives. Implementing workshops focused on communication skills and conflict resolutions, I think can really help improve MGI's team dynamics and in the way that all of you collaborate as well. Also by engaging in a communications firm like ours, to facilitate these discussions, we think you can enhance your overall performance. And finally, but not least, we'll go ahead and look at the threats in color purple. And we're going to focus on escalating conflicts. So the ongoing tensions that exist between team members could really hinder the effective functioning and jeopardize the success of MGI. And I think it's also important to consider the perception issues. So poor internal communications with MGI can lead to misunderstandings externally. And what that does is that it impacts your relationships with potential partners and also the customers. And by being aware of all of this and using the recommendations that David will go over in the next slide, we can really help your team to enhance its team dynamics and the overall success of MGI. And so with that said, I'll go ahead and pass it over to David.
Thank you, Miguel. So how do corporations make their teams work as a single organization? How do they set strategies and influence sometimes thousands of workers to understand and support the same mission? They do this through great communication, which is why we're in front of you today. On the screen, we have 7 foundations for effective communication. And while we will work with strategies associated to reach each of them, after reviewing MGI's company communication summary and the results of the SWOT analysis presented on the previous slide, we recommend beginning with a focus on active listening. Imagine clearly hearing a colleague's concerns or recommendations, as well as the specific reasons for them. What a refreshing and productive way to ensure your communication is off to a great start. Our goal is to help MGI implement foundational strategies that'll help foster an organizational culture where team members are focused on active listening first. Our second area of recommendation would be focused on message clarity. By implementing a strategy focused on message clarity, team members at MGI can drastically reduce unproductive time spent trying to communicate unorganized thoughts, or worse, execution on misunderstood directions, saving you and your team not only frustration, but real financial costs as well. And with that, I'll hand over the final recommendation to our marketing manager, Dhriti.
Thanks, David. So our third recommendation falls on implementation. Considering your team has multiple ideas, having an implementation strategy in place will allow your team to take your product to the next level. When implementing the final decision, the team needs to be aware of their roles and responsibility. Providing a step-by-step roadmap on the process of implementation can give your team members a better visualization of the process. And with this roadmap, you can assign roles to the specific tasks based on each team member's skills and expertise level, which this also further ensures purpose for each team member and also adds value to the decision being implemented. Frequent check-in meetings can also be scheduled to track progress and address arising issues early on. This is a cycle, so being consistent in each of the following steps, specifically these 3 implementation strategies, can significantly improve your team's communication, decision-making skills, and continuously improve over time. And now I'll pass it to Jesus, our account executive, and he'll go over the financial analysis with you.
Thank you to Adri. So at the moment, there is a cost of doing nothing and staying on your current path. This cost takes the form of failed execution and opportunity cost. Not having a viable product in the marketplace is material and very real. The fees that our agency charges are a flat fee followed by a percentage of revenue. Each of our consultants charges different hourly rate, but on average, we're estimating that the cost will be around $550 per hour for our whole agency, and we are estimating that it would take around 10 hours of work per week until we bring your communication up to par. We also, like I mentioned earlier, we charge 0.5% of the overall revenue for the next 5 years, so that's our minimum contract length. We understand that your revenue is slow right now, so we can accept a payment plan once we increase your revenue, so that won't be an issue. One of the main justification for our fees is that we are able to help you increase your revenue. So our fees are basically pay for themselves. On the next slide, you'll see that we provide a strong return on investment. For example, this is a revenue chart of our past client. Their revenue was on a downward trajectory, but they hired us in 2000. So we were able to increase the revenue, decrease time to market, and increase their communication efficiency. With that being said, our startup fee is $5,000. After this meeting, would you like to sign up today to be our client? And on the next slide, I would just like to say if you have any questions for me or our team. Thank you.
Thank you all.